familiar beats. Smeeds hum low like a distant plea, tracing shadows where your warmth used to be. But even in the drift where endings cling, I feel the flutter of a fragile wing. Glass wings in the quiet, holding on, shining through the dusk, though the light is gone. Even in the dark where the fears belong, something in their glow keeps me strong. Glass wings in the quiet, faint but true, guiding every step that leads me back to you. Guitars tremble bright in a silver sweep, pulling hidden memories up from deep. The drum machine pulses a steady line, lifting every bruise that I called mine. Even when the weight becomes too real, your echo turns a broken into something I can feel. slowly down the window glass, echoing the nights we used to let pass. Faint hum lightly in a fragile line, tracing all the pieces I pretended were fine. But even in the stillness where shadows hide, there's a trembling warmth that won't leave my side. Silent neon reverie in the air, pulling every heartbeat from the quiet glare. Even when the dark feels too much to bear, hope keeps flickering like it's always there. Silent neon reverie in the glow, showing me the paths I used to fear to know. Guitar notes shimmer in a gentle sweep, falling like a memory I couldn't keep. The rhythm settles with the softened beat, turning broken echoes into something sweet. And even when the quiet feels too deep, your warmth returns in every sound I keep. Silent neon reverie in the air, pulling every heartbeat from the quiet glare. Even when the dark feels too much to bear, hope keeps flickering like it's always there. Silent neon reverie in the glow, showing me the paths I used to fear to know. Some lights fade slow, but never disappear. They wait in the silence until we draw near. Silent neon reverie, leading me home. Heartstrings glimmer like a fragile tear, drawing every heartbeat closer here. The rhythm moves in a trembling glow, folding broken echoes into something slow. Even when the dark begins to press, your echo softens every heaviness. Moon pulse drifting quietly through the sky, lifting all the weight I never learned to tie. Even when the memories start to fly, hope remains a shadow I can't deny. Moon pulse drifting quietly through the rain. Softly stitching pieces back again. Some nights bloom gently in the ache, teaching hearts which pieces not to break. Moon pulse drifting quietly, still there. Faint reflection shimmer on cold glass, moments of a memory I wished would last. Synth swells drift in a trembling glow, holding every detail only hearts can know. And though the silence feels too wide, I still feel